Hello and welcome back. We survived the snow. We didn't get a ton of snow, but it did get really cold for our area, so that was interesting and fun. Um, I'm sorting like I have been for, the first couple minutes of each thing. That way it allows people time to come in. So those are printed ones. Ugh. Yeah, Snowmageddon. It wasn't like really a ton of snow, but for the area and such, any snow is a lot. And then what was really bad was the temperature more than anything. Too many buckets. There we go. You've been busy, so I can understand why you'd be whooped. Not to mention it's like a different, it's not very comfortable sleeping on like the mats and whatnot, or the cots. Well, we have those at home, so they're there. You just gotta choose to take them. Hey, Steel! My auto shouty out thing doesn't want to work, so give me 1 second. Shout out at Steel. I saw you passed your test. Woohoo! It's not a big deal. I'm just doing my beginning sorting as people come in. I have a drawer for these. I do. Right there. Oh, well, I'm glad you passed. And you're done for now. Until there's always another test, eventually. But yay. We survived the weather. We didn't really get a lot of snow, but there was it got really cold. Like it was down to like something like 8 degrees or something at one point, which for the area is bad. Like people, their pipes are freezing and bursting because the houses just aren't insulated for things like that. Uh, yeah. Well, Saturday we went. She wanted to go to this like petting zoo type place. They have like a monkey you can hold and a like all kind of reptiles and things like that. But it turned out they are currently closed to the public. So she found. Oh, thanks for the subscribe, crazy. She found a nature museum type thing for the state, and so we went and checked that out. And then she got to pick where to eat dinner and stuff. But it snowed like on her birthday, so we had done stuff like Saturday. Uh, but hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, we are going to take her to that place once it opens back up. They were saying the end of February, beginning of March. I guess they're closed when it's really cold, but it wasn't on their website, so we didn't know that. We only found it out because I called them to double check before we went there. I mean, it's only like 15 minutes from our house, but still, I wanted to be sure. Mainly how to pay, you know, like if they took debit cards or credit cards, or if it'd be better to just bring cash. And it's a good thing I did call because otherwise we would have drove there and then learned they were closed. I hate that I know I have these pieces sorted somewhere, but then I can't remember which bin. Well, that's why I said, and she didn't really give a reason why. She just said they were closed to the public right now and that they're currently having a ton of babies. So I don't know if it was a mix between the two reasons or what. But either way, they were closed. So we're definitely going to check them out though when they open back up. I found lots of minifigures in this scoop of stuff. Okay. Well, then we'll see you for 4:30-ish. A broom. So was yeah, like makeup plans for her because we honest like I didn't even think about them. Like I had called because I was worried about how cold it was and like how like how to pay them and such. Uh but it turns out it was a good thing I called because they were closed. But yeah, so we're do some kind of makeup thing. Once it stops being freezing cold. Because honestly, it's still normally in like the 50s and 60s here this time of year. Ooh, wrong bucket, wrong bucket. So 8 degrees is definitely like way colder than it normally is. it's not. Yeah, the weather's not done here. It's supposed to warm up for a couple days and then have another cold front move through. So we shall see what it really, winds up being. But either way, it's this weather needs to calm down. Yeah, like a week ago, it was like, what was it? Like 60 degrees. So it really is crazy. Okay. That's my little bit of sorting for today to kind of slowly work my way through the giant buckets of unsorted Legos. Like for your stream later? Are you streaming later? Okay, what are we on? Okay, so I have Stream Raiders. Woohoo! You haven't. It feels like you haven't streamed in like forever. And while logically I know it was important for you, you had real life stuff. I still miss seeing your face. Okay. Let me switch to the Stream Raiders thingy thing so you can see it. I don't think I have anything flipped. No. So I'm gonna start this one. I think that's where I am. Yeah. Hi, Clockwork Ghosty. Oh, see, it worked for Clockwork. Sorry, it for the auto shutout didn't work for Crazy and Steel. So I'm like, is it working? Is it not working? I don't know anymore. It doesn't know. Let me double check what I have quests for real quick. Yeah, Clockwork is just special. It knew not to start in. It was like, I'm just gonna work. Okay, let's see. What's War Beasts and Vampires? Okay, if you guys want to take part in Stream Raiders, it's up. If not, no hard feelings. What are we on? Bag 27 today. We're working on the last train car. If I can get, anything remotely set up to where you can see it. A Chooty Choo. This is the third car in the giant Hogwarts Express. It's like, what does the box say here? 5,129 pieces. We're on bag 27 out of 45. And then Kevin did the redeem to dictate our next build, which will be the motorized lighthouse. Yeah, Kevin likes to save up all his points and then pick something. Last time he picked a Viking ship right after I had done building the Viking village, and then he picked a Viking Viking ship as the next build, which I then of course used it as an excuse to go by. Like what? What should I do for higher point things? Well, I don't know what to do for higher point things, and you don't know what you want me to have for higher point things, so I don't know either. 4 chairs. I don't have like a light set up or anything to change. I have to seal your last coaster and then get them in the mail to you and get carrots out to him. I keep forgetting to. I was like, please tell me I'm not digging all over for this piece when I'm only supposed to be finding one. But no, I am supposed to be looking for two. I've done that before. Dug around for like 5 minutes and then realized I am only supposed to have one of that block. That's why I can't find a second. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I have a whole bunch of bubble mailers. I just have not done it. This. Listen, I don't go to Walmart unless I absolutely have to. Ooh, we're making little seat areas. Way too big. That's understandable. I guess that's right. Well, I guess those are the pieces I wanted. So what tripped me up is that there's no actual like it's completely flat on the back, so I guess it just slides in between the seats there, and that stops it from moving. It's weird. Still makes me a little nervous. Like there's not really anything holding it in there. You have to say, is your goatee completely unruly and out of control, Ghosty? Because you can have a goatee and still look presentable. Okay, make sure I'm at the right spot. Apparently he does. Thanks for the follow, Jake Studs. Welcome into the craziness. It's gone now? And you didn't even let us see a picture of it first. Yeah, it's pretty random in here. We jump from one thing to the next, conversation wise, and sometimes what I'm doing as well. And I'm just kind of all over the place. I guess I'm technically a variety streamer because in the stream and I hadn't followed. Well, thank you for the follows very much. I do Lego most of the time, and then on Sundays for the last couple months, I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, and sometimes I do crafts for redeems, and we look at all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I'm just all over the place. Something is not sitting right. Good one. Why aren't you sitting correctly? Yeah, if you're gonna tell us that you have to cut it all off, you gotta let us see it before you do it. Or at least have a picture to show us of what you looked like before you did it. Okay, let's see. I just keep throwing everything on the booklet and then I can't see where I'm supposed to put it. Oh, this is nothing. Don't feel bad, Ghosty. Crazies is all over the place. He is babyface, so he technically retired at his last day of work. He didn't officially retire from the military till August, but the end of April was his last day of work, and then he went on all kinds of leave and whatnot, and he he looks like most people look like after a week of shaving, and it's been like months. Yeah, this is very little of my Legos actually. I need to take pictures of the other room. So I have like a 6-foot table, like one of those foldy tables, and I put it up, and then I have 1, 2, 3 of like the Sterilite racks that you can put together to put like your overflow groceries and like garage stuff on, except mine is just covered in Legos. And then a whole like Target bookshelf, and across the tops across 3 other bookshelves, and all over the place on the bookshelves, like in front of the books are like brick heads and like little sets and stuff. And there's Legos on the kitchen table because I have the dried flower wreath, the 3 sets put together to make a wreath. And then I have one that kind of matches the dried flowers, but it isn't Lego brand, hanging on the wall. Hey, Danny Fandoms, how are you doing today? It is literally all over our house. There's just Legos everywhere. But they make me happy. So I continue to build. I saw today in a Lego Ideas email that they're coming out on February 1st. It's being released. Is a British telephone box, and now I have to have it because I love all things British. No, no. But you know what? I will buy it and make it, and then when I am finished, I can buy all the pieces to make a blue TARDIS version. Right? It won't be exactly right because it won't be a police box, but we can all pretend it's a TARDIS. I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I could find a mock build for a TARDIS. Hi, Exposing Alex. Welcome in. I hopefully the little boy has been sleeping slightly better. We are all hoping he feels better soon. Right? That's what I'm figuring. There's got to be a mock for a TARDIS somewhere. Yeah, rebreakable, things like that. I've got to look. I figure somewhere there's got to be a mock for a TARDIS. Okay. Waking up super early. Hi, Devin Verse. How are you? My day is going good. The kids, the I don't know if there's an actual. We're in ads, so I know you all won't hear this. Well, not everybody will hear it, I should say. I don't know if there's an official set. Now I have to look for that too, Alex. Or I mean, Clockwork Ghosty. Yeah, I figure that probably once. Yeah, you can post the link totally. Ooh, more moving doors that I have to make sure I put on right the first time. I am not forgetting you guys, but I have to stop and pay attention to how I put these doors on, or else they will be wrong. And then I'll have to take stuff apart to get it back on there correctly. I know I have seen TARDIS Legos before, like Lego creations, but and I know a long time ago there was a set, but once they've oh, the inside of the TARDIS. It is so much bigger than it looks. And I think somebody recently did like an ideas again. I think I voted on something that was like a Lego idea. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. I know I recently saw something TARDIS, but I don't remember exactly what it was. This, then like this. Yes, I am doing it right. You can whisper it to me and I can bring it up too as well. We can try it that way. I think it's like if the link is too long, then it doesn't like it. You're welcome for the shout out. Everybody gets shout outs. Okay. I found a way to activate my dreams while I'm sleeping. I just say dream school in my head and sleeping in them. Okay. I know I got that piece of. Oh, blended in with the page. So we're to put that overlay, and now the doors slide like on a train. Ooh, ooh. Okay, let me. Oh, school's closed tomorrow too. I'm not surprised because, like I said, there's like very little um watch. Well, they had off yesterday for Martin Luther King, like the fifth Monday the 15th. Then like it was barely into anything. It was like 11 o'clock yesterday, and they had already canceled it for today, and now they've already canceled it for tomorrow. So in theory, they've only taken this will be their second snow day. Okay, I've not seen this set before. I've seen a mock-up of just like the blue phone box. Bye, Ghosty. Have a good day. Um, like I said, it was just like the blue phone box, but I want to say there was another one I saw with like you opened the TARDIS doors and like you were looking inside the TARDIS, not anything coming out. Okay, thank you for the alert, Ghosty. More sets in your backlog. Right now, I have one, two, technically five, but Kevin has already done the redeem to build the lighthouse next, so four. But there are several sets I'm looking to get. Make sure I did that right. Yes, that was that step. Like there's gonna be a Stitch Brickhead, and then a Ukulele 3-in-1, which I believe we already discovered was already out, and then a bigger Stitch like whole character, and I want to get all three of those and do them together. I don't. It probably won't be one stream, but like the idea is to do like them together as one. And now the telephone box, and I want to get the Rose set that just came out. Uh, the backlog never really goes away, but currently I have four. I have 3 Lego and one of that fun hole to try. And I have a good feeling about the fun hole ones. And then in that case, I'll have a whole nother set to become addicted to. Whole nother company. Sci-fi sloth? Did I say that right? Ooh, are you gonna finish the rest of your the succulents? That's the name of the set. Still, or do you have another set? Ooh, I'm intrigued. You have so much fun with the succulent sets. You missteps just like the rest of us. I'm glad I got that right. It took me a second. I was like, I can see it, but the words aren't coming out. We have about 8 minutes left in our stream, Raiders. Listen, I build them way more often than you do, and I miss steps or put pieces wrong all the time. It's half the process of building Legos is putting things on wrong. If you don't mess up at least once while making the set, have you really even built the Lego? I mean, just saying. It probably doesn't even count unless you mess up at least once. Right? Like, it's just in general, like, if you don't mess up at least once, does it really count? So I finished my giant diamond dots and got a new one to do, a new giant one. I'm doing I had a Thomas Kincaid one. Now I'm doing the Mona Lisa. Where's my brick separator? I don't know right this minute. Right? Like, if you haven't had to undo half of what you just made, if I haven't sit here with a seam ripper ripping out an entire section of skirt that I just attached to the bodice, did I even try to make that dress? Like, it doesn't count. Okay, this is 18. And 20. Right, like, you didn't really do it if you didn't have to, like, undo half of what you did at some point. I don't think it really counts. Okay, 17. Did you turn at the last second? Here we go. Ooh. I woke up at like 6:30 and then fell back to sleep. Not like real sleep, but like you just laying there with your eyes closed. Sleep till like, well, I read for a while till like almost 8, and then I laid there with my eyes closed for like half an hour because I was like, I don't want to get up yet. Okay. I missed a step somewhere. Yep, see, I told you. It doesn't count unless. Yes, just 1 second. Let me do the steps I missed. See? Luckily, it wasn't like a big deal missed, but still. Because I was like, what are they talking about? What's that brown bar there? Hey, Rabbit, I feel ya. I think it was like 17 degrees when I looked before the stream started, and considering it's normally like still in the 60s here. Granted, we came from someplace that was like way colder than this, like all the time. A decent amount of time of the year. I'm still like, I prepared myself for not having to deal with the cold anymore. So now I'm like, what is this crap? I thought I was promised no more. I don't have an issue with cold, like, living somewhere where it's cold. I do have an issue when it's supposed to be one way, but it is another. I'm like, no, I did not prepare myself for the cold. And frankly, cold here and cold in North Dakota are two totally different types of cold. They have like no humidity there. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. But it is they have a lot more humidity here, so the cold is different. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense at the same time. Okay. 4, 5, 4, 5. And then 1. Yeah, like in reality, the cold doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is that it's not supposed to be cold here, and it is. Okay, let's see. Who ups? I mean, have you seen the ones where that somebody dresses as Elsa and then the police arrest her for like causing havoc in the area? Those are pretty funny. Yeah, I figured it would be. But I figured, oh, just start it. Yeah, the heating bill is definitely interesting. Like the houses here just aren't insulated to like be able to deal with it either. Like they're just not meant it's not meant to get that cold here. So when they build houses and stuff, they don't. Hey, look at me killing things left and right. I mean, we're still gonna lose, but look at me killing things. We actually didn't do that bad. It could have been a lot worse. I don't even know what game you're talking about, but that sounds hilarious. We can try again. Okay, I see you redeemed, Devin, and I'm not ignoring it. I'm just gonna get this situated first, and then we can do that. Ooh, I get to unlock gladiators and monks. And then upgrade gladiators and monks. Store. Scrolls. Okay, that's... Let's see.
We have always lurked among you.
Thank you for the lurk, Crazy. Have fun at work. There's 2 South Park games. Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole. I mean, I didn't like watch South Park a lot growing up, but I have watched it. So I can only imagine what a video game is like with South Park characters. We'll try this again. If we lose this time, then I'll start a new map. Oh, I don't remember what it wanted me to do. Oh, vampires. That's what it was. The new Willy Wonka movie is the best. I don't know. I have to stick with the old original Willy Wonka. Like, even, I mean, they're each good in their own way, but I like to stick with the original Willy Wonka. Like, some things don't need a remake. I feel like everything is getting remade, and it doesn't always, like, not everything needs a remake. Okay, I did this step. Now I'm onto this book talk. I like the Johnny Depp one. It has that kind of weirdness to it that movie kind of needs anyway, the story. But I do like the original. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Okay, so I finished a book this morning, and it was the second book in the series. But then I started another one that's due for review, so it hasn't come out yet. It's called Vicious Scars? Now I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But it's about this guy. He's essentially like a vigilante, and his name, they keep calling him Van Gogh. Like in the that's like his vigilante name is Van Gogh. Right. I love like the original. I don't feel the need for to me it just seems like lately they're remaking everything. Like, certainly we don't need the second and third and fourth remakes of these things. Just the original is good. I forgot to turn my things on. They're on TV. They can't even get him. This new one has no Oompa. Has one Oompa Loompa that they CGI'd into many Oompa Loompas, and it's not even a little person. Oh, Vicious Proposal by Christy Marie. So, sorry, the name is very similar to a different book I read before, and that's why I was getting confused. Okay, now it's specific. Okay, I was like, did I miss a step again? It has us putting in. Okay, have a good meeting. It has me putting these original, 3 minifigures in the set. It wants Hermione here and Ron here. It wants him there, but I don't see how he's supposed to stand there. There we go. And then I will show you guys. So it has, you put the 3 originals there. with the candy and the mouse, rat, whatever. Yeah, when she turns into a blueberry, I like when the one girl falls in the chocolate river. The one kid. It says aging potion for Lego minifigures. Have you noticed that some of the Lego minifigures' legs are different lengths for different sections? To show the transition of the main characters as they grow up, these minifigures are created to look like 11-year-olds for the section, then teenagers and adults in the following sections. In the first cabin, the Harry and Ron minifigures are placed standing on the seats. The child minifigures with the shortest legs are simply not big enough to have moving hip joints. He's just terrified by them being the youngest. Right? You just gotta laugh about it. Okay, and then in the next section, it has us put the older Ron, Hermione, and Harry, then Remus and the Death Eater. But yes, so the book I started, I'm not very far into it, so um, I mainly have like the description to go off of, like the blurb. But this girl, she finds herself um like interacting a lot with the vigilante, like running into him several times. You keep saying you want him here, but he does not fit there. Oh, that's how you gotta get him to fit in there. His arm has gotta be like way up. Um, I do have a throne wish list. If you go to the about section and you go down, there is my wish list. Frankly, I think at this point it's just a bunch of random stuff. I know there's some Lego on there, like crowdfunding Lego, and then some other stuff. But so she finds herself, running into the vigilante several times. And of course, because it's that kind of a book, she has to be attracted to the vigilante. So there's not much to tell about it. But the book I finished reading this morning was the second book in a series. Um, so I guess when the author, this series has been out for a while because I think they're up to like 12 books in it now or something. But I guess she had originally meant for it to be like a trio of books. It's three brothers that opened a security business. Let me read this little thing. It says, very delectable extension charm. Admittedly, in the second cabin, we diverted slightly from the movie scene, but there is a good reason for that. Hermione and Ron have switched places to make room for the Hermione minifigure's voluptuous hairpiece. Oh, because her hair is crazy big. Like for a minifigure. Gorgeous as it may be, as you can see, it does not really have much room for raising up her right arm high enough to squeeze into the corner seat. So they had them switch places. And then in the last cabin, you have, of course, um, Harry, Luna, and Malfoy. And it wants this door open, and Malfoy standing there. Harry, like, on the floor. And Luna, if I can stop dropping her, right there. So that's how they have the other two sections, how they want you to set them up. For like different sections of the movie, of the different movies. Now they want us to stick that bottle there, and then these here. Hey, Rad Builds, how are you doing today? I will get you a shout out in just a second. Make sure I'm getting this on there right. My auto shout outer has been fickle today. It works one time and then not the next. Did it work for Rabbit? Yeah, it worked for Rabbit, but then it's a. I feel yeah, I slept in a little bit today. I just laid there in bed. I didn't want to get up. The kids had a snow day today and they're having a snow day tomorrow. But yes, so it was the second book in the series. I keep stopping and talking about other things. Hello, ADHD. So in the second book, um, the main girl in the series is like best friends with the girl from the first book, of course. And her and the one brother had like a fling before, but she has like commitment issues, not because necessarily of her, but due to her childhood. Her mom has been married like 4 times, and it's always a new boyfriend. So she doesn't believe, like, to her, relationships never last. So why bother, like, diving in? Because he's gonna leave you in the end anyway. So, you know, not that she doesn't want to commit, just that she doesn't see the point in it. And so, but now this middle brother, or this brother, is back. And so she's always kind of felt different about him, but at the same time knew he was in the SEAL. He was a Navy SEAL. So he was always going to be leaving. But now that he's back for good, she has to face how she feels about him. And to make matters more interesting, while she's not actually, like, she didn't go into law to specialize as a divorce attorney, she just kind of got pigeonholed like that at her firm. You know, she was given one case, and then because she did so well, she was given another and another, and before you know it, that's all she's doing is the divorce cases. High profile divorce cases at that. And so she finds herself, a judge is divorcing his wife. And so the wife comes to her office and she's like, really, you shouldn't be here without your lawyer. I am not your lawyer. I am your husband's lawyer, you know? And she's like, no, I think it's important that I be here to talk to you and you'll help him see. And she's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, the judge is into some shady stuff. So the less you know, the better it is. But you have to know just enough to let him know that I know. And so she tells her a little bit about what she knows. And then, don't you know it? The judge's wife ends up dead. She committed suicide, or so they're saying. But anybody who knows anything knows that you can't go from committing suicide to literally, like, within 24 hours, you being cremated and having a wake if there's not something fishy going on. And that's what happens. So now she's like, crap. And when she so he's trying to get her to open up to him to begin with. And his brother is marrying her best friend, so they're going to be spending time near each other. And so he figures if he can show her they can work outside the bedroom, then she'll open up to him. So he isn't, like, every time she hints at or comes right out and says that she wants to sleep with him, he makes sure it doesn't happen. And so she begins to think he's not interested in her anymore. And as the case develops, he uses it to, one, he wants to protect her. And two, he uses it as a way to show her that they can work outside the bedroom and have a real relationship. Um, so they learn that the judge is into some very, very shady things. He's connected to a cartel, and that cartel is selling tainted drugs that are killing teenagers. And so, it seems to be. And then when she goes to the wake, she realizes that I found what's that I want to buy for you, the parrots. I love the parrot sets. They've been on my wish list for a while, but I just keep putting off buying them because they're on the cheaper side. So I'm like, oh, I got plenty of time. But thank you. I love the parrots. I almost missed a step because I'm going across the top when really it wants you to go like this for the steps to do this step. The steps in the step. I'm not even sure what that is. Okay. I will be sure to check out your wish list as well. So yeah, they're learning that the judge is into all kinds of shady stuff. And then when they go to the wife's wake, they realize that she had a twin sister. The twin comes right up to her name's the lawyer's name is Julie. She comes right up to Julie and shakes her hand and is like, "Thank you so much for coming to my sister's wake." And of course slips her a note. They don't read it till, they're safely away. And it says that she wants to meet her, here's my phone number, call me. And so at first she's like, maybe, should we? The sister could be in on it, all these kind of things. Turns out that the judge's wife wrote a journal of all the things she knew and left it with her sister. So now they know what the judge is into, and there's a third party with like a code name, Dragonfly. Right? And you only need a code name if you're like have to disguise who you are. So there's a good chance that person is in law enforcement or something, where they have to have a code name, or they're like high up, like the judge, higher up in kind of a political thing. And so, yes, that's right. And so now they're like, okay, we don't know who this person is, but we definitely know that she knew something, they have these other names. Thank you for the epic Black X Rose 2. And so, sorry, I have a space heater underneath my desk because my legs are always cold, but now I'm warm. It's a lose-lose situation. And so now they have to decide, like, obviously they want to take these people down. They're selling drugs that are hurting kids, And so, but he wants to keep her safe at the same time. So they have to think of a way that she can introduce him to the judge, but that will get her out of harm's way. Like take the focus off of her and on to him. And so it kind of works, but it doesn't at the same time. Because he acts like so she's very outspoken and you're not going to push her around as a lawyer, but when they go to like meet the people and talk to him, she's very like submissive and like listens to everything he says. And so they're like, "Ooh, how'd you tame her?" And he's like, "Don't you worry about it. I'm me, and that's why it worked." And so now they're kind of like interested in how he got her to listen to him, which, it kind of pulls her back in a little bit. Um, so it works, but doesn't work at the same time. So now he's got to figure out how to like, he tells her like if she wants to keep going with it, like we must, we have to stop these people, we have to save these kids, and that's a good thing. But he's worried about her getting hurt in the process. So he's like, "Listen, I will kidnap you and hide you away if I have to." And she's like, "You can try." And he's like, "There won't be trying. There just will be. Like I will do it. If it me like I'd rather have you angry at me and alive than angry at me and dead." And so he's not telling her like the whole truth when they get notes from the bad guys and stuff like that as a way to kind of shield her and protect her. But she wants to protect him at the same time. So when he gets a note that says, like, meet me at the docks at 8 o'clock, whatever, he doesn't tell her that. But then she finds the note and sneaks out and goes anyway because they want her there. What will happen to him if he shows up without her, kind of a deal. And so she does. She sneaks out to meet him. And he's worried that, well, yeah, she likes him, that she doesn't like him enough to let him all the way in. You know what I mean? Like, it'll always be, you're my friend, but nothing more. And he wants forever with her. And so there's a little bit of that tension too. So when she shows up at the docks, he's like angry for real. And she's like, "Listen, I'm just trying to save you." And he's like, "Well, that's what I'm trying to do with you, but you keep making that impossible. If you sneaking out and all that." And he gets mad at the guy who was like put on duty to guard her and is like, "I'm gonna fire him. I'm gonna beat the crap out of him when I get back." She's like, "It's not his fault. He's so nice and sweet, and I used that against him." And he's like, "Yeah, well, he's supposed to be trained to withstand that, to know when something's up. And obviously he didn't. So he's in big trouble." And so he calls in and lets them know that she's there. And the guy's like, "I'm already putting my note, I'm already packing. I know I'm in trouble." Oh, there we go. That did not want to go in there. There's like a little stack of suitcases in here, and they're like each house color. There's one more, and then I'll show you, because then there'll be one of each color in there. And so he figures that she's like, "Listen, we fought, and now chances are he had somebody watching us, and so he saw us fight. So when we get to the other side on the ferry and you send me home, he won't think anything about it. He'll be like, oh, he's gonna punish her in private, it'll be fine." Sorry, I'm trying to get this on here the way they show it, but it is not going. Well, that's as close as it's gonna get, I think. So you can kind of see them back here. There's black and yellow on the bottom, and then gray and green, dark blue and gray, and then the yellow and red for the different Hogwarts suitcases. And it says the magical suitcases stacked inside the passenger car represent the colors of the 4 houses of Hogwarts. So whichever house you belong to, you can pretend one of the cases is yours. That's cute. And so when they get to the other side, that's what he does. There's a guy waiting there for them in a limo, and he's like, "She's going home. She doesn't know how to listen tonight, apparently." And the guy's like, "While I understand your predicament, she comes or else." And then he like shows that he has a gun. And so he puts her in the car, But before he gets in the car with her, he like goes for the guy's gun, grabs it, and shows him that he could take the gun if he wants to, and like threatens him that if he ever does something like that again, that he'll take care, he'll kill him for the boss for displeasing his clients or something like that. Basically showing that, okay, I went along with it, but not for you. And so then they get to the party, and it's like they gotta be like careful. She's got to play that role, because if they believe at all that they're setting them up, they'll just kill them. So they have to be careful. And he convinces them that he can get like art pieces that they want that are hard to get. Like basically meaning he'll steal them from somebody else so that they can have them. That's right. And so they do a good job of that. And then they say, okay, well, we'll send you a test. So now they have to wait to be contacted so that, they can do this test and prove that he can do what he says he can. Right? Because it's easy enough to say that you can do something, you have to prove it. And so they start going over ideas, plans for when this test comes in. And there's a task force. So the oldest brother used to be FBI, then this brother used to be a SEAL, and the other brother used to be DEA. So they're all involved, have military and police contacts of some sort. And so the other brother uses his contacts within the DEA to find out that there's a task force, and there's two people on that task force that are helping them. So when the test comes in, they realize it's different. Like, so they thought that the test could either be going back out to that island, which would be hard because once you're out there, you're kind of by yourself. And the other option would be in the city. And so when they get the call, it's to go to the subway and take this train at this time. And so they already kind of have plans in place a little bit, at least a general plan. So she's going to stay there, protected, as their places like Fort Knox. And so many people went out to the island in case it was going to be there, because you would have to be there already. And then some people stayed so that if it was in the city, they could help. And so,
shopping with pickup and delivery is
the
the same
plan
as
gets
shopping
going
in
because
store.
now they know
Same
it's going to
low
be in the
prices,
city.
deals, and rewards on the
And
same high
so
quality items. It's one
she
small
stays
click for
there,
groceries, one big win for busy
and
families
he
everywhere.
leaves,
Start your cart today at Kroger.com.
to go to the
Kroger,
subway.
fresh
And
for
they
everyone.
haven't been
Subs and
gone
supplies, see site for
that
details.
long,
And
but
right now, you
once you
can
get
save when you shop your faves. Just buy 6
down,
or more
it's hard
participating
to
sale items and save 50 cents each with your card. Kroger, fresh
like,
for
there's no
everyone.
cell service. And so she hears the cell phone go off, and she thought his brother forgot his phone. And so she goes and she picks it up, and she doesn't say anything. She just picks it up, and the person on the other end of the phone goes, "Get," he used to say something like, "Get the journal and take care of it. Take care of everything." And then she's like, "This isn't his phone. This must be." And then she realizes it's the one guy from the task force phone. He's Dragonfly, the codename guy. And so she's trying to call everybody that's supposed to be helping him in the city, obviously, because the people who are out on the ferry coming back can't really help that much. They're further away. And so she can't get a hold of any of them. And so she calls his older brother, and he tells her that, okay, it's good to know. Keep trying to call them, and I'll try too. And so then it goes to making two of these. Goes to him at the subway platform, and down comes the guy. His name was Hendrix, with two other guys, and he's got a gun, and he's like, "Give me the journal, and no one gets and I won't kill you," kind of a deal. And so he hands him to the journal because there's too many people to take on right away. And especially while he's like threatening him, of course, that's when she shows up. They've got her too, and they're pushing her down the stairs. And he's like, "Good, I've wanted a taste of her." Ew, weirdo. And so he gives them the thing, the journal, and the guy just lights it on fire. And he's like, "Of course, you had to destroy it before the guy got a hold of it, because then he would know you're double crossing him." And he's like, "Well, duh. Why would I just stay on one side?" It's really like triple crossing, because he's working for the government, he was working with the bad guy, and then working with the judge as well. Okay, Stream Raiders is ready. Let's hope we did better this time. 15 allies this time. Maybe better. Let's do this and start the battle. But yeah, so he takes the girl up, which only leaves two guys. So he shoots the one guy with his own gun. Yes, I saw it. I will check it out. And then, ooh, we did way better this time. I'll do a random pick. Crazy got it. Says the event is over. So now we're starting a whole new event, I guess. It's still kind of the same though, because it still wants vampires and that in level 10. Let's go to the store. Level 3. I still need more money for that. Okay. So. We'll do this one. Both my peoples are still still recharging that I need to use, so I'll just do that one. Right. So he takes out those two people, and of course, like, the cavalry arrives about that time. But the bad guy, the Hendrix, the triple agent, whatever guy, he gets away, and they find out that the judge was found dead in a hotel room across town. So obviously he's been taken out, and it seems like the house that they were using has been like everything's been taken out of it, so they've gone to ground. But everyone survived. Nobody wound up in the hospital. Hello, Kevin. And she finally admits that she has feelings for him, and they're gonna give it a shot. And she asks him to marry him, and he's like, "Really? That's supposed to be my job. Like, us Walker men take that seriously." And he's like, "Besides, you don't even have a ring." And she's like, "Oh, yeah." And so she stands up off of his lap, and he gets down on one knee, and he already has a ring. And she's like, "Really? That's why you said no, or made it seem like, because he already had a plan." So happily ever after. We're doing good. The kids are on a snow day, and they already sent out a message that they'll have a snow day tomorrow too. It's not so much because of the snow, it's because it's still pretty cold here. In the grand scheme of things, 15 isn't that cold, but for here, 15 is really cold. Um, Crazy had sent me a message yesterday. It was how our pipes were doing, because like they had gotten messages that other people's pipes had froze in the area where we live, and there were a couple fires from like space heaters, like people putting them too close to things and then things catching on fire. 15 is cold. That's what I was explaining earlier. Like with the moisture in the area, this cold is different than North Dakota cold because they don't have a lot of like moisture there. So the snow and everything is different there. The Dragon Kings. It sounds familiar, but in all honesty, there's probably like 10 books with similar titles to that. Do you know who's the author? Because I can look it up better by that, and then tell you for sure if I know it or not. Kimberly Loth. I will look that up right now. I have the Goodreads app on my phone for easy browsing. Obsidian should be the first book in it. It doesn't say I've read it, but that doesn't mean I don't own it. Because honestly, I literally have like thousands of uh, books like on my Kindle that I haven't read yet. So let me look it up on my Kindle to see if I have it. It used to be, and you still can on the web page. Like on the website Google or Goodreads, you can click it and have it take you like to Amazon or whatever, but the app changed. Like it doesn't do that anymore. I don't know why. It doesn't look like I have it yet. But honestly, $8 is a little much for a Kindle book. A lot of times you can buy like the paperback version of the same book for like that price. I have not read it, it looks like, and it looks like I don't own it yet. I'm not going to look at Your Throne on the stream, but I will check it out on my personal time. One more step before these get connected. But it looked like a YA book. It looked like a YA book. No, I haven't read them. I know it's hard to believe that the fact that I read 300 books a year and I haven't read every book ever. I know it's hard. It's hard. I'm gonna be honest, I buy books at book signings and then I don't read them. I just, ooh, this is a pretty cover, or this looks interesting, and then I wind up like waiting forever and a day to actually read it. There are still YA books that are sometimes spicy, and so with spicy, you have to figure out what they consider spicy. Um, you know what I mean? It said that she can't control herself in front of the Dragon King or something like that. Let me read it. So there's a box set of it too, books 1 through 5. Says 17-year-old Aspen is a skydiving, rock climbing, adrenaline junkie. All her life, she's been fascinated by the dragons who roam near her home in Yellowstone Park. Yes, dragons. Though no human has ever gotten close enough to touch one, except Aspen. While most people avoid the national parks because of the resident dragons, Aspen spends most of her free time in search of the feared and misunderstood creatures. For her, studying the dragons is a way to escape a painful past and avoid getting too close to anyone. She'd rather track dragons in the wild and through the lens of her camera than talk to real people. I can't say I blame her. But then Aspen meets a hot new guy at school, Sid King. He's the one person she's ever met who shares her obsession with all things dragon. But even as she feels strangely drawn to the mysterious boy, she senses he's hiding his own set of dark and powerful secrets. When hikers start turning up dead in the park, everyone suspects the formidable predators. Unless Aspen can prove their innocence, every one of her beloved dragons is in danger of eradication. After Aspen and Sid uncover a sinister plot behind the brutal attacks, Aspen can no longer deny that Sid somehow knows more about the deaths than he should, and the secrets they both keep threaten to rip their lives apart. So maybe spicy. Let's eat sugar. I haven't heard of them before, like I said, but that does sound interesting. YA books can still have spice to them. There's a vampire series that is definitely YA, and in the first 10 pages, somebody's getting a blowjob in the hallway. So they can have spice. You can check your library too, and that way you can borrow it without buying it. There are several apps that let you use your library card as like yeah, yes, a library. Um, like you can put in your, yeah, what a crazy idea! I know. Support your local libraries, people. Um, but like you can put in your library card number and borrow ebooks through this app. There are several apps like that. That's the how many chili peppers. So that's what you got to think. Like you have what they call clean romance, where most of the time you're lucky if they kiss once and they just hold hands, and I find that horrible as an adult romance. I need more than that in an adult romance. A YA, I can totally handle that. But I've read more spice in YA books than those clean romances. And then there's like five chili pepper on hot. He kidnapped her to repay a debt her father owed to his mob family. And then he did nasty, nasty things to her. Yes, we're talking spicy books. Um, there's BDSM books where, you know, they lead them around on leashes and spank them, and there's pony play and well, I'm glad that he went down at least. Now it's time for you to get some sleep, Alex. I mean, yeah, I told what was it in Grand Admiral Quack's stream last week? I was like, that's what I have a joke about haunted libraries. Libraries are haunted because people are trying to finish their to be read list. Like that's why libraries wind up haunted, because people are just trying to finish their reading list. You mean you're not into him leading her around by a leash and spanking her with a paddle? He kidnapped her for her own protection, and then they did naughty, naughty things. Oh, you could never read the things I read then, Steele. Try it, you might like it. I have a friend who does not like anything that is male male. So like two guys having sex, she's like, nope, I can't do it. So she won't read anything like that. Right? Yeah. I was like, wait, that doesn't look right. That's because I'm attempting to skip a step. And then do a step wrong. Right, you gotta start with normal humans before you're like tentacle porn. Listen, you can't read about the Kraken and his lady and how he uses all 8 of his tentacles before you can handle 2 humans going at it. I'm just saying. The non humanoids are later. I really should change mine because we talk about adult books way too often. But in actuality, it probably wouldn't stop them because you just have to click I am 18. Right? You gotta work your way. You have to work your way to the naughty bits. Yeah. Read about Frankenstein's monster and his lady. Well, I hate to tell you, a lot of fantasy stuff is dirty. Like, it just comes with the territory. Games of Game of Thrones had incest in it. Of course, it was too spicy. You could work your way up by reading some of those mountain men romances. Those are always steamy. He's gonna save her when she's camping on the mountainside, but also he's gonna use his axe. Right? Like, don't anime and spice go like hand in hand? I don't watch a ton of anime, but I assumed it was all kind of on the spicy side. Like, even Sailor Moon gets naked in the transformation. I didn't realize there was wholesome anime. I just figured it was all like cartoon porn. Not that I have an issue with that, as we can tell, but I thought it was all just cartoon porn. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. I assumed it was all cartoon porn.
We have always lurked among you.
My bad. Thank you for the alert, Kevin. Right? Like, I didn't realize that there were people who didn't know what tentacle porn was, like, right away. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. I thought it was all like you had to look for the innocent stuff and the spicy was basically everywhere. So I read this series, I want to say it's by Katie Robert. I might be wrong on the name. because some authors have similar names and then I start getting them confused. Um, but like it's about demons and whatnot, and this broker demon, he makes pacts with these women. He will help them with their problem if they agree to partake in this auction where they basically live in this demon realm for like 5 years. If yeah, and then if they produce any children, they will stay in the demon realm at the end of their contract. And like, right, at least one tentacle, right? Everybody's got something tentacle related. Um, like the first one is a kraken, and that's tentacly. And he's got two peens. Yeah, the first guy, the kraken guy's got two peens. Oh no, the first guy's a dragon, and he has two peens. Yeah, he's a dragon with two peens. And then the second one is a kraken, and he uses his tentacles. And the third one is a gargoyle. And in any case, like the first girl agrees to the pact because she's in an abusive relationship and she wants her abuser dead. So the demon helps her out with that. He doesn't like anybody who is. Why not two peens is a better question. Where do they go? Where do you think they go? In the original place and the back door at the same time. And then there's like one with the demon who made the broker. Spicy books. I said I read a book where these women agreed to be part of this auction. If this demon will help them with some issues. The first girl, she's in an abusive relationship and she wants out. So he helps her with that, you know. He doesn't like guys who abuse women anyway, so he takes care of him. And the second girl, like, she basically doesn't have anything to lose. So she does it. I forget why exactly. Oh, and the third girl is because her mother went missing. Her mother, what she thinks no one knows is that she's a demon hunter. She comes from a family of demon hunters. And her mom did a pact like this years ago when she was younger, and nobody ever heard from her mom again. And so that's why she does it. But yeah, you know. Kidding me? That's okay. That Facebook group you joined is horrible. Don't read any of those books. The bad writing would traumatize anybody. Two. I need to find 8 wheels. I don't think these are the right wheels. Yeah, Dino Smut. It is like the Velociraptor taken by the Velociraptor. We have like 3.5 minutes left on Stream Raiders. Yeah, in love with the carnivorous. Yeah, just like crazy. But they're kind of like meant to be. It's like spoofs of scary movies. They're meant to be kind of bad. But she was. I think the ads she was getting are for like those AI generated books, which are bad because nobody's actually writing them. The computer is. Okay, now we're building like the wheelie undercarriage part. Yeah, not the AI ones. They're horrible. The covers are AI generated. The books are written by a computer. It's all bad. Don't read those. They're like the ones that are all over Facebook and Instagram. Like the ads are all over for them. They're just bad because nobody's writing them. A computer is from like 3 lines of generic storyline. They're bad. Nobody should read them. Of these little white Technic pieces. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the one series I enjoyed was Siren series by Jessica Cage. I'm not sure I've heard of that one either. So So you probably couldn't get behind the guy who like stalks her, but then winds up saving her from the bad guy, and then well, chicka wow wow. Like the crazy psycho stalker guy. Like there's something clearly mentally wrong with him, but you're like, yes, yes, get together with him. He's fantastic. I mean, if you look past the fact that he stalked her for 2 months, he really does love her. Yeah, I read some pretty deranged things. Like the TV show You. In fact, I have that book. I have the series it's based off of. They said the books are way like more. The guy who I was talking to at the time was like, "Don't read the books because they're way more twisted than the TV show. Because in the show you already feel for him, but like the books make you feel even more for him. Like you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna totally overlook that he kidnapped her and locked her in that room. He just loves her so much. It's not his fault he doesn't know how to communicate. Okay. let's see. Right, like smut is wonderful. Let's see. Do this on the batted guys. We have 39 allies against 9 enemies. I think maybe we'll make it this time. I read a lot of the dark kind of mafia and MC stuff where, you can guess what happens. One more coin for that. Dang. Yeah, I love the morally gray guys. Like, realistically, I know that it's bad. But in the book, it doesn't matter. I do love the morally gray. Like, yes, kidnapping her was bad, but really, he kidnapped her and saved her from the other guy who was worse, so really, it's okay. I might have and just don't know, like, the title of the song, because I don't always pay attention to that. Listen, you want traumatized. I'll start reading some of the backs of the covers of the books I have to you, then you'll be traumatized. I was at a book signing once, and a girl was getting paddled by a cover model. Right there in the middle of the thing. And then she popped up real quick and goes, "Nobody put this on Facebook. My husband would kill me." We all just laughed and kept going on about our business like it wasn't happening over there. The one author makes wooden paddles, and engraved in it is keep calm and get spanked. And she said that if you hit someone just right, you can make that imprint on their skin. Oh, we are definitely like 200 women in a conference room with 10 cover models. It's bad. Like, we're asking all kinds of inappropriate things. It went viral because of book talk, and an open first duet got so popular that another song was released with the duet. We're not scary. It's just what we read makes us like a little weird. And they always say you got to look out for the quiet ones, and the book nerds are often worse. Like, what are we hiding that we're always so quiet about? Like, I'm quiet, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, you're so innocent because you're so quiet and you look like you're still 12." And then they get to know me and they're like, "Oh my god, you read what?" And I was like, "It's fantastic." So, see, this is what happens. In MC books, you have the club bunnies that they're just women who are hoping that they will be taken as an old lady, but they just willingly and openly have Zegzy time with all the club people out in the open. And everybody knows no club girl is getting made an old lady. Everybody's had you. There's nothing to know. And in almost every series, there's a girl who gets mad because all the brothers start to find their old ladies and settle down, and they're not. Now there's less men for them, and then they do some shady shit. And an old lady is like a wife. Is like a wife of an MC member. They're called old ladies. Yeah, it's an old lady, and the club bunnies are women who sleep with every member of the club. That's their job, to keep the members happy. Yeah, but so then there's always, it's like, oh, in almost every series it happens, every MC series, she gets mad because they've been here this whole time waiting to be made an old lady, and then these girls just come out of nowhere and take all their men. Listen, I didn't say they were bad. It's a choice. Like, they choose to do that knowing what entails it, and no shame. Like, you do what you want to do. I'm just saying, in the book, there's always, upset because the brothers are being, finding their ladies. Listen, there is no shame. Had I not gotten pregnant so young, oh, definitely could have seen myself getting in some real trouble and doing stuff like that. I would have had interesting stories. Come on. Let's see. Make sure. Right? Like, I'm not. No shame. I'm like, yes, you do you. I don't find it any more unacceptable for a woman to do than it. Like, it's not like it's okay for guys to do it, and then because you're a girl, you shouldn't. Nope. Fair is fair. I have some weird things on my bucket list that I would like to do. I don't know. I noticed that too, that it hasn't been working. Because I made sure I had my like the little window with like which Pokeballs I had and stuff. open so that way I could look. And I got 2 gifts on my yeah, because a caller means you belong to somebody. You have uh, a master or a dom. So unless they want to deal with him, they're not going to approach you. Books, that's why it's common knowledge. Books made that common knowledge. Yeah, experience does as well. We've traumatized her so much she's leaving. Poor Steel. Listen, she should know that I'm willing to talk about just about anything in here. She should be prepared. She's the one who brought up the spicy book, so I was just telling her. Listen, I'll talk about anything. I don't care. I'm sure some of the other people in here may not want to hear about it, but I'll talk about just about anything. Listen, I read the good stuff because the whole point is to read something that is not like your everyday life, you know? That's the whole point. I just did all that and I was supposed to do it twice, damn it. I had to go back, 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 because I didn't read the ×2. Right? There's nothing to apologize for. And I told you, I linked my Goodreads in my about with all my like where you can put like your Instagram link and stuff. Feel free to hop on and look what kind of books are there. I'm sure you can find every kind of version of book you could think about. Are you gonna go to the same cosplay event thingy she's going to? I read everything from clean romance is not my favorite, but I will read sweet clean romance every once in a while to like the weirdest, dirtiest things you can think about. and just about everything in between. Like, FBI, mystery thriller. Oh, that's cool. I mean, there is. I mean, that's the great thing about books. If you don't like this genre, just try a different one. Try one until you find one you do like. But I read lots of different things. My husband just assumes. He's like, so what dirty things did he do her this time? Or when that book gets you worked up, just let me know. I'll take care of it. Like, he doesn't care. He's like, when you're ready, let me know. There was an author at a book signing one time. A reader gave her a shirt that said, "Thanks to your book, I'm now a mom." It said that's what she wrote in the card to the author, and then the shirt said like smut helping make babies since like whatever, like whatever year. Helping husbands get laid since. Welcome back, Devin. Oop, I skipped a step. Yeah, he just always assumes whatever book I'm reading that somewhere in the book will be a very dirty scene. He'll go, has there been a good scene yet? Good for who? Okay, since everybody seems to be having cold weather, what good things have you been eating for dinners? We had beef stew on Sunday, and then yesterday we had what we call hobo packets. You just put the food in the tin foil and wrap the tin foil up and then bake it. You could do them over a campfire the same way. Like, that's what we did in Scout. But, anybody having the good... I think we're just having breakfast for dinner tonight. We'll probably have chicken noodle soup later this week. Other four wheels. on. Make sure roughly same. Yep. Two, one, one. Okay. This one. This piece. This piece. I like it seems they've been getting more of these pieces where they have like a defined end to the bar, and that way you're not uh like trying to guess where to put the bee to stop it from going further. If that makes sense. There we go. Okay, this. I can not throw the piece across the area. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay. So now I have two of these, and they go on the bottom. So I heard, I don't know if it's true, that the reason there are some extra pieces sometimes is that the bags are made on weight. And so, like, they don't always know what pieces necessarily are there per se. And that's why there's like sometimes extra. Yes, I don't have to worry about that today though, or tomorrow, because my tiny people aren't going anywhere. Okay, apparently I put that on wrong. Please pull off nicely. You wanted it even. With the, oh, come on. But yes, if you have to go anywhere about the same time school lets out, it is crazy. I like, and really, it's not even just like the time school gets out. It's like the whole hour before and like half an hour to 45 minutes after. That is crazy because people are waiting in line and getting in line, and then it takes time for all the kids to come out. But yes, definitely not my favorite time of day. Sorry, I'm trying to use my foot to like turn down the space heater underneath my desk. It's getting a little warm. Ooh, we got a light up brick. 3 light up bricks. I love the light up bricks. Yeah, honestly, our school gets out at 3:20. I try not to be out, like, except for to go get in the pickup line after 2:30, because if you're trying to drive anywhere, you're getting like blocked by all kinds of cars like waiting to turn in places, and it's crazy. Okay, so we're working on the underside of the car for a little bit. Okay, it doesn't say make 2 this time, and I missed it. Yeah, I hate it because it's either you get in the pickup lane like 40 minutes to an hour early, or you wait that long after. And I'd rather be done than still waiting in line. So I leave the house at like 2:45 for a 3:20 pickup. And I'm near-ish the front of the line, kind of. And I get Boy Wonder, and then I go pick up Fantasy, and there's like no line at Fantasy school. But I turn around and go back towards his school, because otherwise there's a lot of traffic at the roundabout. And his, I can kind of bypass the roundabout, and while everybody's stuck in the roundabout, I can cross traffic, without a problem into the side street. But go, and then, so like I said, I pick him up, then pick her up, and I go back towards his school, and that line is still like crazy long, double lined up all the way back as far as it'll go. So that's why I go before instead of after. It's just crazy. The pickup line has always been horrible. We have about 2 minutes left on Stream Raiders. Nope, not you. And this school where they go now has a pretty good setup for waiting in line, which is nice. Because Fantasy, when she was in like kindergarten, when we were at a different school, they did not have a good setup for pickup and drop off, like a good designated area. It was just the front of the school with this little U. And so only about 5 cars could fit in that little U, and the rest would be like backed up out onto the street. And you'd just be waiting. So you had to leave like an hour before school let out to get a spot close, or else it was just murder trying to like get in line to pick them up. And you just had to wait till the kid came out. Like, so there wasn't, it was just bad. For a second, I was like, how does that fit on there? But I think that is a thing that maybe a lot of schools don't think about, is like having a good drop off pickup area, like well designated and whatnot. They just smush it in there wherever they can fit it, and it's horrible. These little like connect the axle pieces. These were on the Range Rover set as well. Use it to connect this to this. Okay, and our Steam Raiders is ready. I will do that as soon as I finish clipping these on. Okay, remember to switch the screen. Do that. We have 37 allies. And 5 enemies. I think we'll be good this time. Who knows? Something crazy could happen. We won! So, let's do Black Rose on at Pro, and then random for the last one. And back to the map. Don't think I got any quest. Nope. Store. I should have enough this time to buy this, which will allow me to upgrade my bomber. We'll go up to this guy. Thinking. What do I need? Nope. And nope. Okay. Okay, have fun in Michael's. Stream Raiders is back up, so you can join if you would like. If not, that's cool too. 243. Oh, it says build 4 of them, so I'm going to like turn this off to the side here, so I have a little bit better area to work on. 2, 3, 4 cells. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do these things look like almost like little drills? Or springish? I don't know. Shock type things. They don't squeeze, they are solid, but I'm saying they look kind of like that. 6, 7, 8. No, it is a 5. Okay, I'm looking for a 4 dot block, and it was a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, I lost count for a second there. 8, and then 4. So, I watched a show, I like binged it really, called Friends from College on Netflix. Has anybody watched that? It was kind of interesting. I think I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it, but I left it on as background noise. Oop, we're on ad breaks. It's still doing that where it doesn't tell me before the ad break starts, which is annoying. On App Pro, thank you for the epic, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Let me just slide these on there. I think they're supposed to be like the spring break things that are at the end of the trains, in between the train cars. It has it back right side up, but oh yes, they're supposed to look like shocks. So they have them coming kind of down from the top there underneath, so it looks like shocks underneath the train. Okay, so that's what they look like there. They look like shocks for the train underneath. Okay. 2. 1. 1. 2. And 4. Okay. So it wants you to. Oh, we're back from ads. It wants us to make 2 of these little built up pieces. They both look the same. So, one here. Probably to help with the way the roof of the train car will go on. And one here. And then this like this and into the tailpiece. Like as a connector. And then for these. Yep. Here. And here. And here. And here. Turn the train so I make sure I'm getting these on right. Okay, now I'm gonna again turn this over here because it wants me to make 3 of the next thing. Gives me a little more room to work. I'm not getting 24 of those out. I will just get them out as I build. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. We pull the little tabby tab out of the bottom there, and then when that gets pushed in, it causes the brick to light up. So, once this. Oh, that is center. And then they want 2 dots on either side of this gray piece. And then that on here. It's easier to try just take the dots out as I go versus count 24 out. And then put that on there. So that's the next page is probably like where we put them on, and it wants 3 of these. So let me build them all, and then we will turn the page and see where they connect. Thank you for the epic bomber. Flip a bunch of these 2s together. That way I can just slide them on either side. Easier. that's all 3 of them built. Oh, and we want stickers. 9, 10, and 11. Oh, and it says what like what movie it's from. Like a little quote. This one says, "Has anyone seen a toad?" And then it goes here. 10 says, and it says it's by Hermione Granger, the quote. And this one says, "I think someone's coming aboard." And that's by Ron Weasley. And the last one says, "Rack spurts. Your head is full of them, Luna Lovegood." So they go across the basically little like depictions of each scene. Put the stickers back over there. This one. This. And this is gonna like bridge across the top there to hold it on. Thought I was missing a piece, but it was just 2 of the little 1 squares right next to each other. It looked like a 2x1. And those just went across here to hold that on better. Nope, not one of those. One of these. I think I'm doing this right, but I'm also doing it kind of backwards so that you guys can see. Okay, no, I put it 1 too far back. There we go. Come on, get in there. I think something was off just a smidgen, and then it stopped and it couldn't fit in the end just right. There we go, maybe, sort of, kind of. There we go. 3 and 2. This levels. Oop, I knocked something off. Okay, I have to turn it around to see. Oop. Come here. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. There's that. 154 is one of these and one of these. Okay, and now we have our trolley witch. And it wants us, let me turn it again so I make sure I put it kind of the way they had planned. And she went back there, kind of in this cabiny area. Okay. That was an extra piece. Ooh, more than just one extra piece. You go in there. You go in there. And you go in there. And that will be where we end today. We've got 10 more minutes on Stream Raiders. And we'll just kind of hang out till then. So this is how it's looking right now. You have the 3 different scenes depicted there. The trolley witch is over there. Something keeps sliding, but I don't know what. Oh, I think it's the door. Yeah, that's what it is. I just kept hearing something jingle as I moved down. I was like, oh crap, what's loose and just floating around inside there? Nothing. It's the door that slides open and closed. So you can push down on these and it like lights up each depicted area, which is kind of cool. Let's see. Did I add Rabbit and Moon? I thought I did. I did, and it just didn't work. Okay. I don't know what its issue is. The auto shout out thing, like it'll work and then like for one person and then not work for the next and then work again and not work. So I don't know if it's the names or if it's on the fritz. And if I try to mess with anything, then the next time, or like I'll try out after stream and it'll hit like everything. So I don't know. Twitch being twitchy. And I have no idea why Pokemon Go didn't work. Oh, I'm trying to scroll up for it, and that is not how I'm going to find it. I was going to No, I figured I would go to my normal 3 o'clock. Like, I should say normal. Like, so I used to stream from noon to 3, because in the beginning of the school year, the kids were riding the bus. And then my son got hurt, and we found out, like, he two kids were horsing around and he got bumped off the curb and then he messed his knee up, and eventually we figured out that he dislocated his knee, and I've been picking them up and dropping them, like I would drop them off in the morning, but now I've been picking them up in the afternoon as well, and they're on school today, so I did my normal, what I was doing before, noon to 3, but I guess my new normal is really 11 to 2, but I did it noon to 3 today because they didn't have school, so I didn't have to worry about it. But yeah. I try to stay within the same time frame. I mean, I could hop on and play Hogwarts Legacy a little bit, but I try to keep with the same time frame that keeps like the ideal time frame I have for how long it'll take me to do each build kind of correct. If that makes sense. Otherwise, I'll stay on for like 5 hours and make do a bunch of kits or do more of this kit, and then I'll get like, then I'll have to buy more kits to make up that time. So if I stay on, I mean, I can stay on. That's not an issue. I would just have to go to playing like Palia or which I haven't checked on in a minute, so it might need an update, or like Hogwarts Legacy. But I'm done building. I can stay on if you guys want to keep chatting. That's not a problem. I'll just switch to like Hogwarts or something. Technically, I finished the main quest line in Hogwarts, so I'm just running around finding everything though, because I've not finished the game until I found every stinking chest and every spell and every whatever, you know? So I don't have a problem staying on, and I can stay on. I would just have to switch to something else besides continuing on this set. And if you guys want to keep hanging out, I can do that. I'm not opposed to staying on. I just meant like if I stayed on, I would still have to be done like with this spot for today. And honestly, I thought that this build would take me most of this month, because I'll be starting on bag 32 and there's 45 bags, so I have like 13, 14 bags left, you know, depending on how you count. So that's like it this week and probably next week. But that's about what I planned, because I knew it had a lot of bags and a lot of pieces, that it would be most of this month. But I was like, oh, I can show them that thing Ghosty was talking about, the TARDIS kit. But, and I started scrolling up and I was like, that's not how he sent it to me. He sent it to me in a whisper, so they're not going to see it. Like, I can't go up and find it to click on. I'm not opposed to staying on. If people want to keep hanging out, I will gladly switch to Hogwarts or something. But this is, let me find the right browsing window. This is the Doctor Who set that they had from a long time ago, but now it's like $288. Let's see. Let me move this out of the, don't tip and break. Let me move this out of the way and spring up. Let's look for TARDIS Lego Mock. There's one. So not all the parts are there. I am like, I started to play Palia, and I like it, but I hate like all the crazy. Like, I feel like I run back and forth between town and my little thing so often. Is this the same one? No, it's different ones. So I feel like I don't like that aspect of Palia. I feel like I'm constantly running back and forth. What about you? That one too seems like. Yeah, I feel like I'm constant, like it gets full like immediately. And I also get a little annoyed that you have to go back home to make more arrows and stuff. I can't just, you know. But I used to play WoW like all the time, and I would get annoyed at the same thing there. Like, I have to constantly go somewhere to unload my packs and then, you know, buy more arrows or whatever. Let's try by likes. Yeah, the arrows you can buy, but like the if I feel like a lot of stuff, like, I guess I'm just annoyed that I have to go home to make the things. Why can't I just make them in town? But that's like, it's just one of those weird, like, there's not actually anything wrong with it. I just get frustrated. And I don't think I'm necessarily frustrated at that per se. It's just like the wandering around, and then you get frustrated, and then the next thing happens, and that compounds the frustration. Okay, let's see. We have 26 allies. Tell me how. Oh, and 35 enemies. Let's see how we do. Now we're even. Less than 10 for them. One left? None left! Woohoo! We won! I'm just gonna do 2 random choices this time. I don't think I got anything. Yeah, woohoo! We won! Let's see, store. I'm trying to like build from the bottom up, if that makes sense. Like, I buy it for the lowest and then hope that it helps. Okay, so either way, I'm done Legos. I can't, if you guys want to hang around and play or want me to play more Stream Raiders, I can switch to like Hogwarts Legacy and you can watch me run around with my head cut off doing side quests. Like I said, my Palia probably needs to be updated. I haven't touched it in a week or so. Maybe 2 weeks. so it probably needs to be updated. But if you guys want to hang out and chat, I can switch to Hogwarts Legacy for a little bit, or we can find somebody to raid into and call it a day. Either way, I am good. I probably should have asked sooner instead of waiting till like the last minute. Let's see. Can I wonder trade yet? Soon, very soon. I was for like a hot minute, like caught up. I on top of the wonder trades, and then I stopped paying attention, and now I feel like a million duplicates in my Pokemon game. You're a bad Voldeem. You're not great either, but you're better than this one. Wonder trade. Okay, well, I'll just find someone to raid into. Let me make sure I have like 5 million tabs open, I feel like. Go back to this. Okay, let's see. Clocksin TV is on. Lord Squishbish, RC Spaceport. Let's see how long they've been on. That matters too. Clocksin has only been on for about an hour and a half. They've all been on for about the same time. So let's do Ray Clocksin TV. Make sure I spelled that right. I'm always afraid I'm gonna like type it wrong, and then it, even though it's not like, is Mr. Harrow on? He must have just come on, and my thing didn't like refresh. Oh, yep, I see him now. Go back. Too many tabs. Wait. Okay, again, make sure I spelled that right, or put it in there right. I'm always convinced I've spelled it wrong, even like as I'm looking at it and spelling it. Oh, it helps if I spell correctly the word raid. Okay, there we go. I'll figure it out eventually. I'm gonna go to stream ending. So I will be back on Thursday with more Stream Raiders and more of the Hogwarts train. It's probably gonna be at least next week. We might be done next week, or it might be like the following Tuesday. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. You must be like bone tired, Alex. If I was you, I would have given up a long time ago and just went to sleep. I'd have just like passed out in the bed with the kid when I finally got him to sleep. I've done that numerous times. Thank you for everybody who came and hung out and put up with my craziness. And if I scared you with the book talk, I'm sorry. I should really change my end to like 18 plus, because the book talk sometimes is bad. Like, not really bad, but you know, sometimes the books are more than some people and children shouldn't hear about them. But thank you, and I will see you on Thursday, hopefully, for more Streamators and more of the Hogwarts Express. Thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out.